GM owners are reaching their breaking point after learning that some of the problems affecting their cars and trucks have no real solution whatsoever. And because of that, many are now questioning whether they bought vehicles that were built to fail from the beginning. Before we continue, the next stop for this channel is 7,000 subscribers. We're locked in and have no plans of slowing down, so expect plenty more automotive videos coming your way. But with that being said, let's get back into the video.
Back there is the brand new Escalade 2026, one working headlight. Wow.
Just could not imagine sitting in the transmission shop waiting to pick up my car from transmission issues, and all these GMCs are sitting here, and one just pulled in on the tow truck.
Brand new GMC CL 1500 Denali just broke down. Bad lifting failures. Come on, GMC CL 1500. Start, come on. Come on. You see the engine? Come on. You still beat your truck. Start. Start.
They just fucking put a brand new motor on that shit. They just put it 3 months ago, an engine.
This message is for whoever created the 1.4 liter turbo Ecotec motor and the people at Chevrolet. The f is wrong with you, huh? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Because everyone knows, look, everyone knows. The valve covers leak, the intake manifolds go out because the PCV system gets clogged up, and the PCV line goes bad. And what's missing here is the turbo, because the turbo's over here. I already replaced the turbo. There's the cat, because we had to pull the cat off to be able to pull the turbo off. And we only have to pull the turbo off, although we replaced the turbo like 6 months ago. And all of a sudden, the oil cooler down here, where it mounts against the block, is leaking and pissing all over the floor. So it goes through, I don't know, about a gallon of oil a week. And now I have to tear it all back down and fix it again. So Chevy, from the bottom of my heart, go f yourself hard. And I would love absolutely nothing more than to take this back to the dealership that my old lady got it from. But they did such a good job bending her over and her without lube that guess what? We're like $8,000 upside down. Thanks, Chevy.
If you see that right there on a car you're looking at, run away. You don't want to own one of these 3.6 V6 GMs because they all blow up. I feel bad for everybody who bought one of these Traverses, Enclaves, Acadias, and I'll tell you why. That's a 2015 with 90,000 miles. I'm going to take you out here real quick to that white one. On my way to that white one over there, what do we have first here? Another Chevy Traverse, 122,000 miles on it. Guess what? Bad engine. Let's go to the next one over here. This one is the Saturn Outlook version, same engine. 139,000 miles on this one, and guess what? Bad engine. Oh, but wait, there's more. 122,000 miles Chevy Traverse LTZ, 122,000 miles. You guessed it, bad engine. We get these every single day because the motors go bad. And if you own one of these, I feel really bad for you because, yeah, they were a nice car when they were new, but GM just put a lousy motor in them and they all blow up. So if you've got one of these, good luck. And if you're looking at buying one of these, go buy yourself a Honda Pilot. Talk to you guys later.
Tell you what, General Motors can go itself up with the claw end of a goddamn hammer. 2016 GMC Terrain with the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder in it. I had one of these, the 2.4, in 2010, my daughter's car. Took out 2 timing chains in that motor. This is a 2016. I'm like, checking around. GM should have had their shit figured out after having the same motor for 6 years. Guess not. Took the timing chain out of this one as well. And on top of that, when I go start tearing it apart, I don't know if you can see it back here or not, but there is a really nice crack in the exhaust manifold. Plus a bolt down in there that I can't get anything on to get off. So I've been a GM guy my entire life. This is the last goddamn GM I will ever own. The piece of shit. Jesus Christ.
Oh, for some stupid reason, I keep driving GM products, and me. This has got 2 fuel tanks, and it hauls around about 70 gallons of fuel because it gets about 6 miles a gallon. I just put new fuel pumps in it, and it's dead on the side of the road because it's out of fuel, because it refuses to pump fuel from the rear tank to the front tank. So there's 40 gallons of dead weight on the back of the truck that won't pump to the front tank. So I devised a handy dandy little trick. You see this right here? You pull that out, and if you look on there, oh, I need to jump pin 87 to pin 30. Oh, look at that. You shove your little paper clip in there, and you let them run for a little bit. But I bet I get in here and it starts. Look at that. You GM and your goddamn electronic bullshit and your pumps that don't work. Why do I keep buying GM products?
I just bought my Chevy Traverse yesterday, 2026, and it won't start. I've tried to jump it, tried to do all of the things, and it won't work. I even tried to start it on the app, and it won't start.
One of the biggest fall-offs throughout the entire history of the automotive industry has got to be with GM trucks and SUVs. And it still blows my mind that a company that used to build absolute tanks in the 90s and 2000s, I'm talking about the GMT 400s, the GMT 800s, those old Vortex small block Chevy V8s, even the early LS V8s, could go from building things like that to what they're building now. And look, the older ones had their issues, but those issues pale in comparison to what the modern GM vehicles are experiencing. Back then, you might have to replace a sensor, a fuel pump, or maybe even a 4L60 4-speed transmission. But today, some of these new trucks and SUVs can't even make it 20,000 miles out of the factory without a catastrophic engine failure. That is insane, especially considering how expensive these things are. And don't even get me started on the horrendous 6, 8, and 10-speed transmissions. It's like every new generation adds 2 more gears, yet they forget to address the same issues that have been plaguing these transmissions since day one. I mean, the 10-speed has been so notoriously bad recently that Allison has literally told GM, get our name off of your transmission. We want nothing to do with that monstrosity, and that should tell you something. And you might ask yourself, why do people keep buying these products? And well, it's honestly pretty simple, and it's just the fact that GM is coasting off of their old reputation. People remember the bulletproof trucks that their dad and grandpa used to have and think that the new ones are built to the same standard, and sadly, they're not. The GM of today is nothing like the GM that built those rock-solid rigs back then. It is just crazy how times have changed.
General Motors will be facing a class action lawsuit over faulty transmissions. The order comes from a federal appeals court, and the lawsuit claims that over 800,000 2015 through 2019 Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC vehicles were knowingly sold by GM with defective 8L45 or 8L90 8-speed automatic transmissions. Customers have also allegedly complained about shuddering and shaking issues when their vehicles are in higher gear, as well as a hesitation or like a lurching problem in lower gears, even after repair attempts. The lawsuit also accuses GM of telling dealers to go ahead and just assure their customers that harsh transmission shifts were normal, and that GM would cover transmission flushes for customers experiencing the issue during the warranty period without actually fixing the underlying issue. Now, this next thing is obviously anecdotal, but I had a few vehicles with the old 8-speed transmissions, and I never had any real issues with them. The older 6-speed transmission, though, that thing always drove me crazy. It always seemed to kind of like hunt.
Y'all, never get a Buick. Never get a Buick, and never get a Buick from Twins Buick in Columbus, Ohio, because I just got this car, and when I tell y'all, I have been having issues since I got it. I'm talking about, I was on my birthday, whole car shut the down, sitting on the side of the road. So do not come here. Don't get no raggedy ass Buicks.
I hate the Buick Envista because what do you mean? The taillights are down there. They're supposed to be up there. Buick, get it together.
This feels like it's going to end badly. General Motors CFO just told Automotive News that subscriptions are going to, quote, fundamentally transform their business. The removal of CarPlay in GM vehicles to be replaced with their own paywalled software, for example, isn't new news. But the way that they're ramping up this next phase feels like one of those historic mistakes we're going to look back on and point as at the exact moment where things went in the wrong direction. Perfect example of why. Using maps in your GM vehicle is going to require either paying a subscription fee you never needed before or digging out the old suction cup phone mount like it's 2014. I'm sorry, but abusing your captive audience because you know that they're not going to buy a new car when they find out that they can't use maps, so they'll just pony up the $14.99 per month, is not innovation. It feels more like a hostage situation. Seems like a business model that's going to have aftermarket car stereo companies booming again, because who wants that? How many times do we have to do this before we learn that just paywalling something that already exists for free and forcing this inefficiency is not a good business model? And don't even get me started on how this means that the actual car itself is going to become an afterthought.
A growing number of GM owners are starting to lose confidence in the brand after experiencing problems they believe reveal a bigger issue with how modern vehicles are being built. Many drivers claim that newer GM cars and trucks are suffering from repeated failures, expensive repairs, and quality issues that seem far too common for vehicles that are supposed to last for years. Many owners argue that some of these problems go beyond normal wear and tear, from failing components to costly systems that break down far earlier than expected. Frustrated drivers believe they are dealing with vehicles that were not engineered with long-term reliability as the top priority. Some even question whether certain parts and designs are being made in a way that guarantees future repair bills once warranties expire. For many GM owners, the biggest frustration isn't just that something broke, it's that these failures are happening on vehicles that were marketed as durable and dependable. They point to older GM models that were known for lasting hundreds of thousands of miles and compare them to newer vehicles that can develop expensive problems much earlier in their lifespan. That's why more drivers are starting to wonder if modern GM vehicles are truly built to last, or if today's focus on technology, cost-cutting, and faster production has created cars and trucks that are becoming harder to trust over time.